29 people are facing 128 charges following 2 separate police operations in the downtown core to deal with drug trafficking and the violence that stems from it. Following concerns brought forward by the public, the Calgary Police Service District 1 and the drug unit initiated the first operation in December 2015. First phase focused our resources on the 17th Avenue corridor, where officers observed a number of drug-related activities taking place in front of or in close proximity to a number of family restaurants in the area. At the end of the first phase of this operation, 7 people were arrested for a variety of drug and stolen property charges along with outstanding warrants. The second phase of the operation took place in January of 2016 and targeted the 7th Avenue area where drug trafficking was observed to be taking place, again in public spaces frequented by families such as restaurants, the Calgary Public Library, and Olympic Plaza. During the January phase of the operation, 22 people were charged and face 81 drug and criminal code charges. More than half of those people are known to us for violence or property-related crimes. The most commonly seized drug during this operation was crystal meth, followed by morphine. Fentanyl was only seized once during about 30 drug seizures. The Calgary Police Service would like to thank our partner agencies and the support we received from the communities who brought forward these issues to us so that we could deal with them. I would also encourage anyone who witnesses any suspicious activity to contact us so that we can, especially in the downtown area, so we can help deal with it.
Is it really shocking when drug dealing is taking place in public spaces like that? Maybe the amount, yes, but the actual crime, you can't really get surprised.
You know, one of the things that it's not necessarily a surprise that we have drug trafficking in one of the largest cities in North America. But what happens with drug trafficking is we have this spat of violence, and we will have stabbings, and we will have assaults, and we will have shootings, and they are typically drug trafficker on drug trafficker, or people are related in the drug world. But this is taking place sometimes in broad daylight, in front of families and in front of people going to work or people going to read a book at a library, and that's just unacceptable.
That corner in that City Hall C-train area, that all forward, it's quite a hub for this kind of activity. Are you thinking maybe putting more boots on the ground there to try to cut some of this off?
You know, we one of the things that we see is we work with the businesses in the areas. We look at crime prevention through environmental design, and we have been very successful with a lot of the businesses in doing that. But again, it's a large city, and drug trafficking is going to happen. We recognize that. What's important is that the public, and what we want people to do is phone us when there's a problem so that we can put resources to this. We can get people the help they need. If they're addicts, then we'll get them that support and that help. But really what we want to do is get there early before the violence escalates.
Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the investigative methods deployed in being able to arrest so many? Was it surveillance? Was it tips from the public? Was it organized? How did that all kind of unfold?
Yeah, and I won't get into all the specifics. Obviously, we don't want to give everything away, but certainly this all stemmed initially from tips from the community, tips from the public that were calling us saying that they're seeing hand-to-hand drug transactions taking place. We also saw a spike in the violence that was taking place in some of these high drug trafficking areas. We certainly deployed surveillance resources into the area as well. And I would say that the investigation's not done. There are still some people that we are looking to identify and looking to arrest, and the investigation's still ongoing.
So I'm clear, were deals being made inside the main library branch?
No.
Outside.
Yeah, most of the drug transactions were taking place outside, just outside, or in the entrance to these family restaurants, these family places, whether it be the library or whether it be Olympic Plaza. So
Nobody was going inside, sneaking in the stacks and making drug deals that you're aware of?
not that I'm aware of. No.
Inspector, how much of a dent do you think this crackdown is going to make? Like, is it enough to make a noticeable difference downtown as far as people seeing drug deals happening out in the
Well, again, what I'm hoping is it makes a notable dent as far as the violence that has been taking place. We have 29 people arrested. I can tell you that out of those 29 people, 13 have already been released. Now, they've been released with conditions, and one of the things that we will do with our beat and bike units in particularly is we'll monitor those offenders to make sure they're complying with their conditions. I'm not naive enough I know that other people will eventually come and take their place. We get that. Again, what we're hoping to do is that we will have the public call us when they start to see suspicious activity, and we will jump on this again. For these people that are out there doing this, it is dangerous. When they're selling drugs, when they're using drugs, it's dangerous, but it's also dangerous to the public that's walking by. So we just don't want that to happen. We don't want anything escalating.
Would you characterize these guys as low-level dealers?
As what?
Low-level dealers?
Well, the investigation's ongoing. I would say right now they're low-level dealers. We'll see what comes of the investigation as we continue to background some of these people. Again, the focus for me, and I think the focus for the public, and the reason they were calling us wasn't so much about the drugs. That was a piece of it. The other part is about the violence that comes from it.
You said a big increase in the last few months, is that correct?
Say that again?
You've seen a big increase in the last few months in this?
I think our community has seen an increase for sure in the drug trafficking, and we have seen statistically we've seen an increase in the violence, in particular the assaults and the stabbings that have taken place downtown.
Why that area particularly downtown? Is it because it's easy to get in and out of the C train?
Well, we're talking about over these 2 months, we're talking about down to 17th Avenue as well, and on 7th Avenue. I'm not sure why there. I'm not sure. Maybe the investigators will ask them. I'm not sure.
Any details on the amount of drugs seized? I saw what types they are, but
Yeah, I don't.
value, anything?
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me, and for our purposes downtown, and again, it's not so much the big weight or the big quality of drugs. It's the fact that they're down there, and even for a small amount of drugs, people are not afraid to fight each other, or assault each other, stab each other over that. So I don't have that information though.
What else can business people do to try and make a difference in curbing this type of activity? What would you like to see them do?
You know what I would recommend is that if businesses are having problems is they get a hold of their district office and they ask to speak to their community resource officer. We'll come out, we'll talk to staff, we'll come out and we'll talk about crime prevention through environmental design things, or we will send patrol officers through that area. One of the important things is that we can't do this alone, so we need the community to be engaged. We need the community to phone us, not be afraid to phone us, so that we can figure out where we need best to deploy our resources to solve the problem.
What about lights and cameras? Like, do you want to see more of those downtown, or are businesses down there doing a good job on that, or how would you characterize that?
We work closely with the BRZ and the Downtown Business Association, so I think for the most part businesses are doing very good with that. But again, I would say that it's all based on individual businesses and their circumstances, so we're certainly interested to talk to anybody down there about what else we can do to harden the target and to make these people go somewhere else.
And the drug deals that have been happening, would you characterize it as like they're not very discreet most of the time? A lot of these things are happening right out in the open that people can see, families can see.
I think some of the drug deals are definitely in the open where people can see. A hand-to-hand transaction can take place. Sometimes it's drugs, sometimes it's not, which is why it takes us a little bit of time and appropriate amount of resources in order to get these charges. It isn't as simple as, it's not Hollywood where we watch a hand-to-hand and just figure it's drugs. We do have to prove it in court. So some of it is certainly open. I guarantee you, as we have seen from video or we have seen from other people or witnesses, that the assaults are very much in the open and they are taking place at all times of the day and night.
And again, these people were known to the police, many of these?
Some are known to us. I would say half, or approximately half, are known to us through because of violence in the past or because of property crimes, which again goes to prove what I'm saying, that along with drug trafficking comes this violence and the property crimes that we see related to it.
all in any way linked to the larger gang violence we've seen around the city last year? Or are these just kind of street level guys?
Yeah, the investigation's still ongoing, so we'll see how that might pair up. We're not seeing anything right now to indicate that this is part of anything larger. We do know that drugs and organized crime go together, but right now we're not seeing it related to any gang activity.
Will this make a difference?
I certainly hope so. I think that when you arrest 29 people, and I think hopefully it sends a message to drug traffickers and that what they're doing and the violence that comes and the crime that comes from that's unacceptable. I hope that it makes a difference to the people that are working and using the downtown facilities and living downtown, so that they can actually go to a library with their children and get books and not have to walk by a bunch of drug dealers or watch fights or stabbings taking place.
The new library is opening up soon. Does that mean there could be more potential for this because it's a bigger area? Is there more possibility for that? Or if that's the case, will there be maybe discussions with the city to beef up security when that opens?
Yeah, we've been in, so I don't think it has anything to do with the library per se. That's not what this is about, nor does it have to do with the other restaurants or family places that it just happens to be where they are, where they're doing their trafficking right now. I think as far as we've been working with corporate security, we've been working with security at a lot of these premises where we've had problems, and they've been working with us well. I think corporate security, or I know corporate security as well as the police, are working on the new facilities, so the new library and what that looks like, and we're looking at things like, how is it designed to prevent, ease of movement for drug traffickers, for example, or criminal activity, making sure that there's proper lighting, making sure that there's proper video, that kind of thing. So it is something that's ongoing and has been ongoing for a few years now.